Later in the programme, actually, we will meet the band Everything, who were playing at HMV's store in Manchester last night when news of the company's troubles emerged. Now, John.
An unprecedented wave of Francophilia has been sweeping Mali. Many Malians feel the French have delivered them from the horrors of harsh Sharia punishment. Today, the French President François Hollande announced that a total of 2,500 troops will go to the West African state, backed up by more than 3,000 African forces. Our international editor, Lindsay Hilsum, has been out on the streets of the capital, Bamako, meeting ordinary Malians. She joins us now live from there. Lindsay.
John, and I've also been talking to people with relatives in the north. One woman I met who had family members in Timbuktu said that the jihadis there had melted away. The French had been bombing in the area, and she said that people were dancing in the streets. Now, I don't know if that was literal or metaphorical, but what she meant was that people have had a terrible time for the last 9 months. She said, at last, women are able to go out without headscarves on, and everybody's smoking. Because under the jihadis, smoking was banned. You could be flogged if you were found with a cigarette. If you sold cigarettes, you had to do it under the counter. They called cigarettes secret. You had to say, I want to buy a secret. And now she said even people who don't normally smoke are smoking just for the hell of it because there's nobody there to stop them. Here in Bamako, people were very worried that this kind of harsh Sharia might come here. So when I went out today, I found that there was massive enthusiasm for the French and for the military operation.
There's no doubt which flag is most popular on the streets of Bamako today, the tricolor flag of La France. People feared the jihadis would sweep down and impose their harsh form of Islam here in the capital.
We're delighted that France is helping us. We can't pay them, so we're showing our satisfaction with this.
If the French weren't able to come, so everybody knows that they will invade the country and they will impose their so-called Sharia.
Those from the north say the French are liberators, the jihadis occupiers.
My family are still there. Unfortunately, they're still under the fire of the occupation. The Malian army and France must liberate them very quickly.
Enthusiasm, it seems, has no bounds. I asked how long the French should stay. In my view, the French shouldn't leave. They should stay in Mali, he said. But they're the old colonialists, I said. I'd like to be colonized again, he replied. That's not the French plan. More troops arrived today, some transported in British planes. They're building up to a force of 2,500. The French president seemingly determined to destroy the groups linked to Al-Qaeda.
You ask me what we will do with the terrorists if we find them? Destroy them. Take them prisoner if that's possible and ensure that they won't be able to be a threat in the future. The operation isn't to defend a line. There are no internal borders in Mali. I have told you the aim is to stop the aggression and to allow Bamako to be secured so that the authorities in Mali can be preserved and our nationals protected.
Today, West African military chiefs met in Bamako. Several African countries will provide troops, including 900 Nigerians, who are expected to start arriving in the next 24 hours. Their problem will be logistics. No African army has the capacity of the French, whose forces are moving north in numbers now. They have the momentum and the advantage. The problems will come when the jihadis regroup, which they undoubtedly will.
Well, Lindsay, let's probe that a little further. I mean, a country twice the size of France, 5,500 French and African troops, 6,000 jihadists at least. Does this all stack up, or is it just a big, long quagmire?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but the point is that the French are trying to hit them very hard now so that there are as few left as possible when it gets to the next phase, because the next phase will have to be led by the Africans, or at least the Africans will provide the manpower. Algeria is absolutely essential because many of these jihadis come across the border from Algeria. They have to secure that border. But they haven't gone away. They are likely to start acts of terrorism. They have threatened France. They are likely to start with guerrilla tactics. So although everybody's very excited here at the moment, the chances of this being a long and painful guerrilla war are certainly there.
Lindsay Hilson in Bamako, Mali. Krishnan.